The show's lead character is an odd girl named Wednesday Addams, though merely 13. This young girl scarcely exhibits emotions and possesses a bizarre fixation on death. She's also notorious for donning black and white gothic attire, which others deem peculiar. In the initial scene, Wednesday reaches her high school, sporting a spooky expression. Within her locker, she uncovers her sibling Pugsley restrained, an apple in his mouth, and promptly expels him. Unexpectedly, Wednesday experiences a vision where she identifies who tormented her sibling, revealing she's no ordinary child. Wednesday possesses the capacity to view one's past and future simply through physical contact. Once she finds out that a group of bullies from the swim team are behind this, she walks into the swimming room with 2 bags full of piranhas. Then she casually unleashes the bloodthirsty piranhas in the pool as the bullies swim for their lives in horror. Wednesday makes it clear that nobody picks on her brother except her. Cut to the next scene. We meet Wednesday's parents, Morticia and Gomez, who are frustrated with their daughter's antics and choose to enroll her in the renowned Nevermore Academy. Surprisingly, all attendees at this academy possess paranormal powers, and the curriculum focuses on managing these abilities. Morticia and Gomez are also graduates of the same academy, implying they possess superpowers as well. Concurrently, a hiker ventures solo into the woods near Nevermore Academy. Sadly, within minutes, an unidentified creature assaults and kills him. The local sheriff discovers the disfigured corpse later and starts investigating the area. Astonishingly, we learn this gruesome murder isn't unique. Numerous similar occurrences have happened recently. Next, Wednesday reaches the academy and encounters Principal Larissa Weems, who effortlessly manages Nevermore. She introduces her to roommate Enid, a werewolf who's the complete antithesis of Wednesday in every conceivable aspect. Enid is a grounded girl with vivid decorations adorning her side of the room, while Wednesday adores everything black and goth. Later, Enid offers Wednesday a comprehensive tour of the academy, highlighting the primary school cliques. Fangs are vampires, furs are werewolves, stoners are pothead gorgons with serpents on their heads, and scales are sirens who can manipulate people. Enid also presents the school's most popular girl, Bianca Barkley, a stunning siren, and her former boyfriend, Xavier Thorpe, a death artist who can materialize his sketches. Simultaneously, as the Addams family departs in their car, Gomez releases Thing, a severed living hand assigned to watch over their daughter. The next day, Wednesday partakes in a fencing class where she faces the formidable Bianca. After some back and forth, the girls reach a tie, so they opt to remove masks and fight until one draws blood. A fierce duel ensues, both evenly matched. However, Bianca ultimately triumphs, inflicting a minor cut on Wednesday's cheek. Later, as Wednesday visits the infirmary to be treated, she narrowly escapes death when a falling stone gargoyle nearly crushes her. Fortunately, the death artist Xavier intervenes just in time, pushing her to safety. Soon after, Wednesday returns to her room, suspecting she's being watched, and searches the area. She eventually locates the hand Thing, recognizing her parents' involvement. She warns Thing to be loyal to her or face confinement in a drawer, which terrifies Thing into submission. Due to Wednesday's piranha prank, she must attend compulsory therapy sessions. So Principal Larissa drives her to her therapy session in Jericho, a small town outside of Nevermore. She meets her therapist but doesn't open up about anything. Instead, Wednesday has another idea in mind. She excuses herself to the restroom and escapes through the window. Once outside, she accidentally stumbles into a man. Suddenly she sees a vision where she witnesses the man's DOS. Terrified, Wednesday goes to a nearby coffee shop. There she encounters the sheriff's son Tyler, who's also a barista. Pilar is experiencing some mechanical difficulties with his espresso machine. The directions are inexplicably in Italian, but thankfully Wednesday can read Italian. She fixes the device effortlessly and in return asks for a lift to the nearest bus stop. But before Tyler can reply, suddenly a trio of bullies wearing pilgrim costumes arrive at the store and taunt her. Wednesday tries ignoring them, but when she can't take it any longer, she fights back and easily smacks them down. After a while, Principal Larissa arrives at the store with the sheriff and notices the carnage. Enraged, she berates Wednesday before driving her away from the town. On their way back to the academy, they pass a terrible car wreck. The victim is the same man who Wednesday saw in her vision earlier. Later that night, she plays a haunting song on her cello in the dorm balcony. It's a full moon and several werewolves can be heard howling in the background. However, Enid, who is a werewolf herself, reveals that she's not joining them because she cannot transform herself. Meanwhile, Thing pops by Tyler's room and asks him to call Wednesday. Although terrified, he obliges, and to start video chatting, Wednesday asks Tyler to meet her at the harvest fair the following day, claiming that it will be fun. However, in reality she just wants to escape the academy. While at the fair we see Larissa watching over Wednesday like a hawk. Despite this, the golf teenager somehow manages to catch up with Tyler. The two almost escape the place, but just then Wednesday stumbles into one of her classmates, Rowan. He immediately runs into the woods, and since Wednesday touched him, she has a vision Rowan has been brutally mauled to death by someone. Terrified, she has a change of heart and goes after him to impart the news. But before she can say anything, Rowan uses his telekinesis ability and secures her high up in a tree. He then reveals that his mother, a powerful seer, envisioned Wednesday destroying the Nevermore Academy 25 years ago, and Rowan believes that he has to kill her before anything bad can happen. He then starts choking her telekinetically, at least by her telekinetic dinner first, but suddenly a massive monster leaves in tears, rolling apart and vanishes into thin air. Wednesday stands over his mutilated body and sees the illustration his mother supposedly drew for. Soon after, police officers led by the sheriff begin looking for Rowan's body but are unable to find it as expected. The sheriff does not believe Wednesday's statements about a monster attacking Rowan and thinks it was Nevermore student instead. An officer disrupts their conversation, and surprisingly, we see Rowan, who is very much alive. When Wednesday arrives at her room, she notices that her roommate Enid is too preoccupied with the Pope Cup competition and annual boat ride again. Later she tries talking to Rowan, but Principal the Rest informs her that she has been expelled for a reason she can't share. As a result, Wednesday reverts to Plan B and asks Thing to keep an eye on Rowan. The scene then cuts to Rana, who has arrived at the train station with Thing following closely behind after observing the